Hello again, guitar students. Today we're going to talk about strumming. Now, if you've been following these lessons for, the past couple of weeks, you'll know that lesson 6 had something to do with strumming. Now, that was basic strumming. When I say basic strumming, what I mean is you go down and you come back up. Okay, now what we said there was that all strumming is double strumming. That's important to remember because it's going to hold true. Because no matter what you do, if you want to down strum, I'm going to play a G chord down here. If you down strum on a chord and you want to down strum again, your hand has to come up in order to do that. The idea of double strumming is that you down strum, and when you come up, you either are going to engage the strings or you're not. Those are the only two choices you have. You're either going to engage the strings or you're not. Now, it doesn't matter because it's still a double strum. It's still down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, that by itself gives you a different rhythm. When you combine the two, you're going to hit it, you're not going to hit it. It creates a pattern, a new kind of a pattern. And patterns are what's really important with strumming and with finger picking. Patterns. So, if you have this down, up, we usually count it 1 and 2 and, so that your numbered beats are going down, and then your in-between beats are coming up. And if you're doing it right, you're hitting fewer strings on the way up, and it is a weaker part of the beat. It's like when you tap your foot and you make a sound when you hit the floor, but when you lift your foot, there's no sound, unless your ankle cracks, which mine sometimes does, but that's not what we're talking about. Anyway, but you see, the idea is that there's a similar motion between your foot going down and coming up and your hand going down and coming up, and so you have this weaker part of the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but that's only dividing the beat two ways. What happens if you divide the beat three ways? Ooh, that's innovative. And this is also causes a lot of problems for people counting. Three is might be a very natural number if you're thinking spiritually, but if you're thinking just physically and musically, it's tricky because three doesn't always add up. Well, here's the thing. If you have a straight three, like for instance, if your time signature was 3/4, and you see this a lot because it's in waltzes. It's also in a lot of songs. A lot of love ballads are in 3/4 because they're kind of reminiscent of waltzes. Let me give you an example. If I did this, and you would have Bojangles, that's in three. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now I'm hitting 1 with just the bass note, letting it sit. 1 and 2 and 3 and is how I'm using that pattern to create that. So when I walk down, I'll do it with my left hand out here. 1, 2 and 3 and walk the beat, the bass down to the B, go to an A minor, throw in the G bass, F, stay there, and then go to the G and walk the bass up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See how it works? So you have these three beats, but they're still only double strumming. The idea of the threes, though, comes really into play when you have triplets. Triplets usually go by much faster. Okay, they're not just 1, 2, 3. They're usually 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you see how that matches with the beat. If I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See, I've split that beat into three parts. Now usually you don't count 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which you would find in blues. That's usually in a 12 count. 12/8 is what we usually call it. But you wouldn't count to 12. That's cumbersome. You would split that down to say, okay, let's take beat 1 and count it 3 different ways. 1 and I see the and is still in there, but now it's second, and you've got this third sound, this third part of the beat. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's very steady. That's the thing. It's not 1 and take a breath, 2 and it's very steady. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and when we put that on the strumming part here, again, I'm playing a G chord down here just in case you're trying to play along, and I hope you do. I'm going to bring this up so you can see it better. Okay, it goes like this. 1 and now you notice that and is going down where beat 2 usually is. So where do you put beat 2? Well, you're down. You have to come up. And there's no break. There's no let up to it. So it's 1 and 2. And see what I mean? But the motion is still down, up, down, up, down, up. But the emphasis is vastly different. So now you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now to emphasize that second beat, what we're going to do is I'm going to suggest you engage the strings with more pick. Now here's how the thing works. Okay, I'll do this sideways. If I hit the strings this way and just glide across them, I'm using about that much pick. But if I moved it to where I was using that much pick, see the difference between that much and this much? I'm not even talking about 1/8 of an inch probably. But if I dig that much more into the strings, I can't get that glide. I get much more volume out of it. Okay, that's how we get more volume out of just the strum. Here, that's just gliding across. And then all of a sudden I dig more pick into it. Well, that's what you have to do. 1 and 2. Except that you're coming up. And you're probably not going to hit all of the strings. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. Don't be surprised if you're not. And don't try to hit all the strings, because if you do, it's just going to sound muddy. That's my word for it. It's just muddy. It sounds kind of filthy when you come up. 1 and 2 and it's just too scrapey. There's too much sound in there. But you hit it a little bit harder. Your normal upstroke, but you hit it harder. More pick is louder than that. See what I mean? It's just a matter of engaging more of the string, more of the pick against the string. So now you have 1 and 2 and the and is still very light. So you have to get this pick to move in and out of the strings in order to create that dynamic, okay, that difference of pressure on the strings. All right, so put down your G chord and try this with me. 1 and here we go. Count it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. Let's try it once more, a little bit slower. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and beat 2 and beat 4 are going to be a little bit stronger on the upstroke. You hear this in a lot of songs in triplet time, but they don't feel like they're in triplet time because you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. It still sounds like it's in 4. You know why? It's still in 4. It's just that the beat is split. The number of beats is the same, but the beat is now split. Instead of 1 and 2 and, it's now 1 and 2 and. Whole different feel. And when you listen to going back in time to early Beatles, All My Lovin'. That's what's going on here. One and two and that's all there is to it. It's just that same down up motion, but you count it differently and you emphasize the other part of the beat. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it doesn't, if you have any specific questions about this, contact me. Send me a private message. Send me an email. You can find that on my website. Respond through the comments section on this video. Somehow get a hold of me, okay? I will respond. I promise. And if you have any suggestions for future lessons, something that you are particularly interested in that you think might be of interest to other people, or maybe it's just you, I don't know, that'd be okay too. But if you have an idea for a lesson that I haven't covered, and if I have, I'll let you know. But if you have an idea, you let me know. Make sure and contact me, all right? I'm looking for ideas too. At this point, there are 12 lessons. Probably there will be more after this. I hope so. If there are, go watch them too. And share them with your friends. That would be really good. So have fun with this triple strumming and just, work it. Make it your own. Make it comfortable. And keep playing and have fun with it. That's an order. Well, no, it's a very strong suggestion. But anyway, you go have fun with it, okay? Thanks for watching.